Hello, fellow Americans. You are on the YouTube channel Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. I talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. Keep your conservative voices active. Subscribe to this channel and listen as I talk about issues we are facing in our country and government. Visit my website, commonconstitutionalism.com. Enjoy reading my conservative blogs, and if you like them, maybe throw in a donation. While on commonconstitutionalism.com, go ahead and shop at the Sage Novelty Shop, where you will find shirts which feature our very own unique conservative political memes and captions. Display your conservative beliefs with pride. These items send a clear message without saying a word, or if you prefer, you can use them as a conversation starter. Come join my Facebook group, Common Constitutionalism, for discussions of topics, sharing of ideas, and interacting with others just like yourself who are proud to be Americans. Trump's impeachment. This is a viewpoint for the Democrats' impeachment process of President Trump by one of this nation's patriotic deplorables. That'd be me. The entire idea of impeaching President Trump is believed very deeply by many conservatives and independents alike to be an obvious political and partisan hack job. The Democrat leadership and any in the party who have engaged in or chose the side of this impeachment process have made a gross mistake in judgment. The Democrats started speaking out about impeaching President Trump practically since the day the American people elected him. The fact that a Democrat-led House carried out this impeachment, to be honest, was expected. The divisive bias and hatred of President Trump, conservatives, constitutionalists, and independents by the liberals and media has become nauseating. The Democrats and liberal media continuously make a big deal about the way President Trump speaks and his terrible name-calling. Remember him calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas or Hillary Clinton Crooked Hillary? Oh my, how terrible. Yet these same people rave about Michigan's Representative Rashida Tlaib, saying she is so brave to speak out about Trump, even with the vulgarity she used while interacting with her young son when she called Trump, quote, an MFer. Only she said it without abbreviation. Though I admit at times that President Trump has said things I wished he didn't, he has never spoken in that vulgar way. Once again, the liberals show their hypocritical, phony, partisan ways. The liberal media continually puts these and other incendiary people on a pedestal. When one looks back at how the Democrats and liberal media has attacked President Trump daily for 3.5 years, and one is willing to accept that they lied, cheated, and fabricated information to permanently end his presidency, that is when it becomes clear the hatred and disdain these people have for President Trump and the people who elected him. The Mueller report, which the public endured for 1 year and 10 months at the cost of $34 million to the taxpayers, the final conclusion was there was no Russian collusion. Yet the Democrats and liberal media still cannot let it go, which proves even more the Democrats are on a partisan mission. They have been after President Trump since his election, and they have no plans to stop. During the House hearings, the Democrats called 17 witnesses. No one spoke of any facts, much less any condemning facts. The entire hearing was spent listening to opinion. Opinion does not convict. Yet the Democrats and liberal media continue to espouse that the facts are overwhelming and the abundance of undeniable evidence they have presented proves President Trump's guilt. I suggest this is why the Democrats came out of the House impeachment hearing with the weakest articles of impeachment filed in our nation's history. First article was abuse of power. The president is completely in his power to withhold payment to a foreign country for any reason he deems to be in the best interest of the United States, such as concerns of terrorism, inhumanities, etc. However, based on when the funds were dispersed, I feel the Democrats are misleading the facts to say the funds were withheld in the first place. There is also no question the president has full power to fire appointed personnel, such as FBI Director James Comey. This was the other reason the House filed under the first article, abuse of power. The second article was obstruction of Congress. The normal acceptable wordage here would be obstruction of justice or contempt of Congress. So what exactly is obstruction of Congress by the president? First of all, it is the president's role to obstruct any action taken by any of the other two branches of government that are considered illegal or that the president believes to be wrong for America. It is about separation of powers. Our government has three branches. They are the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. The Constitution was set up to separate these powers and give each one the power to oversee the other. So obstruction of Congress is basically a made-up term. The House in Congress should not be able to file charges against a president just because he disagrees with something they are doing. He has the right to begin proceedings against them or align himself opposite their position. If the House had any proof of wrongdoing by President Trump, they would have filed articles of impeachment that have meaning. Instead, they file these weak charges and play political games with the impeachment process. This impeachment of President Trump has been and continues to be basically biased. It is obvious the Democrats and liberal media is attempting to fill every day with some kind of fake news, hoping to create doubt in the minds of those inclined to vote for Trump, repeating their antics used in the 2016 election, which I believed all along they had meddled in the 2016 election to affect the outcome. They bought and paid for the fake Trump dossier and fabricated the Trump-Russia collusion. I now propose the Democrats and liberal media are colluding to interfere with the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. The Mueller report clearly states that the Obama administration knew that Russia began interfering in American elections in 2014, and that this interference grew to include the 2016 presidential election. So why didn't the Obama administration do anything to stop Russia's election meddling? Basically, there are three reasons President Obama did not want to pressure Russia's President Putin to stop the Russian meddling in our elections. One, Obama wanted Putin on his side of his legacy, the Iran nuclear deal. Two, Obama wanted Putin to accept the European Missile Defense Program. And three, Hillary Clinton was expected to win the 2016 presidential election. So the administration decided to just let it ride out. One theory of thought is that the Obama administration needed a scapegoat, so they blamed Trump. on the collusion. I will state again, the way the Democrats and liberal media handled this impeachment process of President Trump can only be viewed as an obvious political and partisan hack job. The sad truth in all of this is that the Democrats have unfortunately accomplished to devalue the meaning and the purpose of impeachment. They have created a platform for repeated attempts to impeach presidents in an absolute partisan way. Now, every president is immediately at risk of impeachment when the opposing party has a majority in the House. Just stating an important warning for the future. Beware of policy and legislative actions that will have detrimental effects for future generations. And as always, you can read this full article and many others at my website, commonconstitutionalism.com. Let's see what we can accomplish here. My aim is to create a loyal following so I can continue bringing awareness to these kinds of issues. We will talk about issues in our government, the erosion of our culture, the minimizing of our way of life, and the disregard for our Constitution. I would appreciate you all exploring, donating, subscribing, joining, and shopping on my sites. You will see them displayed at the beginning and the end of the videos. Until next time, this is Common Constitutionalism, and I am Mitch. Thank you, America.